Next week, a Houston martial arts school will be taking 5 of its former students to court.
At issue is the reason the students dropped out. Our Dave Fehling tonight with more on a school that trades on the name and image of a supposed martial arts master, a man named John C. Kim.
His name is John C. Kim. He claims to be the retired undefeated champion of all Asia, although some martial arts experts will tell you there is no such thing. Kim licenses his name to schools across the country, including 3 here in Houston. Students have spent thousands of dollars to learn his secrets. Students like Mark Bethune and Yvette Sanchez.
I do believe that I did get some benefits out of it. As far as the self-defense, I can move very well. I do think I can protect myself in certain situations.
But these and some other ex-students are now raising questions about how the schools have been run, and they're not alone. Complaints in Chicago about schools there prompted the Illinois Attorney General to sue John C. Kim. The suit alleges consumer fraud and coercion. What's more, the Chicago office of the Internal Revenue Service is investigating Kim franchise schools there, and we've learned that one part of that probe reached a rural corner of Harris County. On a Thursday last August, dozens of federal agents and local sheriff's deputies surrounded these properties near Tomball in North Harris County. Neighbors tell us a military-looking helicopter circled above for hours, assisting agents on the ground. The government says those agents seized documents and computers, and that the Tomball raid coincided with searches in Chicago of 7 martial arts schools, an apartment, and a farm. One man listed as the taxpayer for some of the Tomball property was a martial arts consultant who is affiliated with the Kim franchise schools here in Houston. An attorney for that consultant called the search an IRS witch hunt. Kim's attorneys refused to comment. Whatever the case, the IRS investigation apparently does not involve any of the 3 Houston area schools directly. There is nonetheless a court battle brewing here. It resulted from some of these former martial arts students quitting the school located on Westheimer. Last week, that school sued them and a cult expert for allegedly trying to draw students out of the Kim schools with claims that the school was a cult that used coercive persuasion to manipulate students into expensive contracts. The lawsuit says the allegations that the school is a cult and practices mind control are false and fraudulent. It also asks that the ex-students be kept from interfering in the business of the school, and it asks that they be made to pay in excess of $60,000 in damages. Who are these ex-students? We interviewed 9 who've recently quit the John C. Kim schools. One said he'd paid over $20,000 to the school, another nearly $10,000. Some thought the training would allow them to become instructors themselves and open their own schools.
We were told that you push hard, that you reach a certain point, you're set for life. Set financially, set physically, set with family, that these things would come to you. Of course, that point was kind of ambiguous.
But I left my wife at home. I said, I'm going to go pay off instructor course. It's great, no more. We don't have to take any more money. I was sitting in the office, paid it off, and right as soon as I paid it off, they said, well, as soon as you bring down $1,000, you can start working for your certificate. And my jaw, I went like that, you know. I was wondering, I thought this was it. And I just thought to myself, there's no way I can bring any more money down to this place.
And whenever, you didn't want to bring that money down, then, there's an immediate question by the instructors, well, what's your problem? Don't you want to be better?
They promise, true happiness is in their literature. And that's what I wanted, true happiness.
We hope you tell a balanced story. We really do.
Lawyer Greg Sweeney represents the school on Westheimer and its co-owner, Dominic Romagera. Romagera says the ex-students were misled by cult experts into believing the schools practiced mind control. He says he didn't mind the disgruntled students resigning.
But to resign and start passing around lies and innuendos about school to get others to resign, then both as a businessman as well as, even more important, my concern for the other students. I don't want them to have to listen to those lies.
As to how much his school charges,
the most that I know of is around $200 a month. And if you work that out to how much time they're worked with privately, I think that you're going to see actually in many ways the price is very reasonable.
They know they're being filmed and everything? Oh, no.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, we don't have to have permission.
2 current students who confronted our camera later agreed to talk with us and said they'd heard the complaints but had none themselves.
I mean, I've been in school over 3 years, and I've stayed here because it's the best. I pay what I think it's worth, and if I have a problem with the money, I just don't pay. It's just, you know, if there was something offered, I'd just go, no, that's not worth it, and I wouldn't pay it.
The controversy goes to court next week when the school will ask a judge to order the ex-students to stop talking with current students. Our interview with the school's co-owner was taped by his attorney, who has indicated he will sue Channel 11 if he finds our report less than factual. Dave Fehling, 11 News.